Another Brick fan here with an Avengers set. This is Avengers Truck Takedown. This is set 76143, was released in January 2020, has 477 pieces, 4 minifigures, and cost about $40 when it was released. I really like the look of this set. I like how the truck was designed, and the motorcycle with the drone on the back turned out pretty nicely as well. There's a lot of stickers in this set to provide a lot of the texturing and logos for the various vehicles. The minifigures are good, so we get Captain America and Hawkeye as our heroes, and then a couple of AIM agents with different accessories. We'll take a close look at those here in a few minutes. Let's go ahead and take a closer look at the vehicles first. First up, we have this AIM kind of trike type setup. So it has a very large wheel in the front, as you see, a drone that fits on the back, and there are a bunch of different accessories on here that move. So the thrusters are interestingly made out of these newer lantern pieces with this yellowish green trans colors inside of them. They use quite a few of these gem pieces in that trans yellow green as well. There's a clear, there's a trans black is what I usually call it, color here with a sticker on it for the front of the drone, a couple of stud shooters, and then the base here just connects to this little cone piece that we have here. Interesting that our bad guys have a logo that they like to put up on their vehicles, but I suppose that AIM is a legitimate company in universe, so perhaps that isn't as strange as it seems to be to me. Very simple vehicle, just a little bit of kind of a square body here in the back with a little bit of sloping here, and then the larger front wheel than back wheels, which kind of give it that tilted appearance. The AIM agent fits in there very nicely, so there's a spot in the back here for his stud shooter to fit. Just sits down in there and then can grab the handlebar to drive the vehicle, and then the drone can just be landed right there on the back. So everything fits together quite nicely. So let's move over and take a look at the Avengers Truck. So here's the Avengers Truck, and you can see that there's a couple of different weapons on there, kind of flamethrower type or maybe energy weapons that are done here on either side of the truck. Then there's these arms here that articulate on either side of the truck. And looking here in the front, you see an arm on either side, a lot of lights here. Of course, a license plate here. I like how they use this other bumper piece to kind of add some more texturing to the front. So I think it looks really good with these grill pieces, the sloped grills and everything. The way the characters get in, or the driver gets in, is by opening up the vehicle. And then we'll go ahead and put Captain America in here. So there is enough room for Captain America, and I think you could probably squeeze another minifigure back there if your hands were small enough. Interestingly, he doesn't really reach the steering wheel very easily. It seems like it's a little too far away or too high up. So that seems a little bit out of proportion, perhaps. You see the other side of the truck is pretty much the same on both sides, and then in the back, it's very plain in the back, so this doesn't open or anything. It's just a solid piece here. There's lots of different lights, so there's these brake lights in the back. There's some brake lights up top here and then down below, and some turn signals and other lights. There is this little action feature here. So if you press down on this, it opens the truck up. And looking inside, you see there's a whole bunch of equipment in here. The primary piece being this gun emplacement that comes up and out of the truck. And then you can swing out these pieces here, presumably that are part of the powering mechanism of that. The gun turret is designed to be manned by a minifigure, so let's go ahead and put Hawkeye up here. So you can see here, and it's got one of these 6 stud shooters, so as you turn this, it's going to shoot the studs out. So that's a nice action feature a lot of kids will appreciate. Down inside, you see there's storage here. There's a clip piece There's a clip piece here for storing another pistol. There's a walkie-talkie over here. One of the nice things is you see these little Technic pins are kind of what hold the top roof together so that it remains closed. And as you can see, there is enough space to keep the turret up while the roof is closed. What I don't like is that this turret does not turn at all. It would have been nice if they would have included a turntable with this so you could actually aim a little bit. So you have to rely on your driver to actually aim this big turret when it's up out of the vehicle. I do like this action feature. I like how it opens the whole vehicle up. It makes it look a lot larger than it really is, because when this turret is back in here, it pretty much takes up all of the back of the vehicle. So there's not a lot of interior space of this vehicle when the turret is stored away. But the one complaint I guess I have is this little rocker here is done with a 2x4 with a round mounts on the bottom for pins, but it looks a little bit unfinished. I would have liked to have seen them, put in a tile here so that we could keep that smooth. I do like the use of all these little trans elements. It kind of gives it a little more visual effect to the vehicle itself. Now that we've taken a look at the vehicles that are included with this set, let's take a closer look at the minifigures. As I mentioned in the opening, this set comes with 4 minifigures. They include Captain America, Hawkeye, and 2 AIM agents. Let's take a look at our heroes first. So this is Captain America and Hawkeye. As you can see, Captain America has his dark blue uniform. I really like this helmet piece. And then, of course, the nice shield piece, which is printed quite nicely. Hawkeye comes with a purple accents here on his black uniform and his bow and arrows. So let's get those accessories out of the way. Taking a quick look at Captain America, you can see under his chin here, he has a strap. You see that kind of dark brown to indicate a leather strap for his helmet. Good printing on the front with the pockets there, the star in that red, white, and blue pattern we would expect of Captain America. Hawkeye has a small mask here, the nougat hair. I already pointed out the purple accent there on his chest, and then he has some silver belt accessories here as well. Moving around the figures, you see no side printing on either one, but with the exception of the little bit of side printing of this little wing on the side of Captain America's helmet there, which is a nice little detail. Looking on the backs here, of course, Hawkeye has got his arrow quiver here in the back, so we'll get that out of the way. So we can take a look at the printing and his alternate expression here. See a more kind of a grimace on his face, the nice continuation of the printing here. Captain America, or Cap, has his printing in the back here. And then if you take the helmet off, you see that he has a smiling expression here, and he actually comes with a hairpiece. So here Captain America can just wear that hairpiece instead of the helmet there. So that makes for a kind of a completely different look for Captain America. Of course, as you see here, the one face is definitely designed for the helmet and the other could be used either way, but really the 2 faces are really for the 2 different looks. So this one is for the helmet with the strap under his chin, and then the other is for the hairpiece. Let's go ahead and take a look at our 2 AIM agents. Here are the 2 AIM agents, and they actually are the same minifigure. They just have very different accessories. So the one here on the left has this big, what looks like kind of a handheld flamethrower type weapon. A couple of different flames coming out of that, all brick built. Turned out pretty nicely, actually. Then the other has this stud shooter, but it also includes this little gem piece in that yellowish green trans color. So that's a good little piece as well. And then this one here has this backpack piece, which has these kind of power grips. You know, these have been used in a lot of Avengers and Marvel sets to indicate power on like a fist of a minifigure. Taking a look at the minifigures, as you see, the torsos are the same. So they're done in kind of this metallic dark gray color, and I think the helmet matches pretty well with it's just slightly different, probably just a different material than the minifig itself is made out of. They have this darker vest with the yellow sleeves on the sides, a lot of yellow accents on their uniforms. As you can see, it looks like both are wearing goggles, so they have the same headpiece. And then they have like this filter out in front, some kind of breathing apparatus. No side printing, but I left the jetpack on so you can get a better look at that when it's all put together there. And then you can see the back printing that is done for both figures. They do not have alternate expressions, so all they have is that kind of goggle look. Let's take one of these helmets off so you can see that a little bit better. There's that big goggle look that they have in the front for both of these figures. Now that we've taken a look at the minifigures, let's go ahead and go back and I'll give you my final thoughts on the set. Overall, I really like this set. The vehicles are good play pieces, and the 6-stud shooter is a fun accessory to have. I think the weapons and other accessories that come with the AIM agents are pretty nice and make for interesting figures. It's great that Captain America comes with both the helmet and the hairpiece, so you have a little bit more looks for Captain America. The couple of complaints that I have is this van, although it looks pretty decent, does not have a lot of interior space. I mean, you might be able to fit maybe one more minifigure in there for a total of 3 minifigures. So all of the Avengers obviously couldn't fit in there. Just 3 of them in this case, but it only comes with 2, so I suppose that's all right. The action feature is nice, but does look a little unfinished to me, so that kind of was interesting. The motorcycle here is nice, but when the drone is in place, it's only held on by this little stud here. So driving this motorcycle around, you tend to knock this drone off quite easily. So I would have liked to seen that connected a little bit better. And oddly enough, it looks pretty unfinished without the drone in place. So that's kind of an interesting problem. Maybe it just bothers me more than it would bother a younger child that is just using this as a play set. As far as value goes, this is 477 pieces, so close to 500 pieces for minifigures for $40, which seems like a pretty good deal. If you calculate a minifigures between $4 and $5 each, you would expect about $16 of this set just in minifigures, $16 to $20 just in minifigures. So I think you do get a pretty good value. The price per part calculation is below the 10 cent per part, which is where a lot of people consider this to be a good value. Hope you've enjoyed my thoughts on this Avengers set. I'm going to get started on my next video. Until then, happy building. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and be sure to subscribe to see more of my content. I've left a link to my Avengers review playlist up here on the screen.